Hey, it's Kesha. Welcome and welcome back. So today we're doing a manifestation technique called making a satellite. So let us begin where we always begin, with first centering in. So close our eyes. Just take a deep breath in. Just feel yourself present in your seat, present in your body. Releasing any cares and concerns, any worries, any drama. Just let all of it go. Lovingly and gently call all of your power back to yourself. Feeling now more present and whole. See a column of white light coming down over you. Breathe in that light. Relax into its familiarity. As you breathe it in, just feel it filling your body, filling your mind, filling your heart. Everything about you now becoming lighter and freer, more tuned in and tapped in, turned on. With your heart open, your mind open, ready for today's lesson, gently open your eyes. So there may be times in our manifestation journey where we have an idea of something that we want, but we don't necessarily have the specifics. So this is a technique that I find helpful in those cases, because we're going to put as much as we do know onto paper, creating this satellite diagram. And by nature of it being a satellite, it's going to send out a beacon to the universe, thus attracting to it opportunities or designs that fit within the framework that we are outlining. So, for instance, imagine you're in a space in your life where you want to move to a new job, maybe change industries. You don't know exactly what the next step is going to be, but you know you want something different than what you've currently been doing. So I want you to take a minute and think about what are some of the aspects of the job that you want to experience. So for instance, that could be, you want it to be work from home, right? So remote work. That's something, you might want to write this down on a piece of paper. If you're open to a commute, then how long of a commute? Are we talking 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Whatever is comfortable for you. So jot that down. If you have an idea of the industry you want to work in, then include that information. If you have an idea of the level of position you want it to be, jot that down. Like, as much information about what you want it to be that you are aware of. So if it's a managerial role, if it's a supporting role, if it's sole contributor, not necessarily managing other people, just whatever that might be, just list those things down. You might want to list the type of coworkers that you want to work with and the type of management that you want to see. So as much information that you have in your mind and in your heart about the type of position you want it to be and the type of work you'd want to do. Let's see, if it's selling a product or a service, you might indicate that. The type of product or service, if you have that information, if you know that already. The type of clients and customers that you'd want to work with. As much information that you can think about, just each line item, each thing. Okay. And probably the most important, how do you want to feel, right? If it's Sunday night at 7:00, right? Are you excited about Monday morning? Right? Do you want it to be a Monday through Friday type of job? Like, that's a key piece of information. So you want to write that down, Monday through Friday. If you have a specific time frame, if you want to start a little bit later in the day, maybe 10 to 6 or something like that, write that down. If you want a more flexible schedule in terms of the timing, as long as the work is done, but you can leave whenever, or come in later some days, like that type of, flexibility and what that looks like for you. That's another line item. Yeah, so going back to Sunday night at 7 o'clock, how do you feel? Are you excited about Monday? Are you excited about the next day of work? What does that feel like? When you think about waking up on Monday morning and you think, okay, I have to go to work, like what type of feeling do you want to have during your day when you're at work? What kinds of feelings do you want to have? As much detail as you can give, write that down. These are all of your, aspects, right, of the ideal job. And, you might, if you've taken the time to write about them in terms of like you've written a paragraph about each thing, but you've gotten clarity, through that, then I want you to condense those couple of sentences or paragraph down to a phrase or a word, right? Something that's significant to you. You always have these notes to refer back to if you need to. But for the purposes of the diagram that we're going to create, we need short phrases, say 3-4 words, or just one word that identifies, those feelings. So if we look at those different aspects, you should probably have somewhere between 5 and 10 aspects, right? So if you look at the type of work, the salary, the compensation, benefits and perks outside of salary, the type of people you want to work with, both in terms of your coworkers and in terms of your clients. Those will be two separate things. Your commute, if there is one, or if it's remote work, the type of leadership you want to work with, if the type of company and its public face is important to you, then you will have that as one of your aspects. What else? How you feel about your work, how you feel, will you be, if you're at a dinner party and someone asks you, what do you do? Are you going to be excited to lead with that? Or will you be ashamed? Like how do you want to feel about your work, and how would you want to be able to describe it, or be excited about it? Like that's going to be another aspect. So we're looking for 5 to 10 aspects about the job that you can identify with either a phrase or a word. And so that's a separate, you can stop the video now and just do that, and then come back to the actual diagram, which we're going to cut to now. All right, so this is the diagram that's going to make, going to allow us to put all the things we've talked about in place and make it all make sense and make it all happen. So we're making a satellite. So we start with the base, right? And then this is the dish. And then this is that inner mechanism. Now these are the spokes that we are going to write all of our individual points on, the things that we, listed out are, 3, 5, 10, or however many aspects that we wanted to have happen. This is the end of the antenna, and then we're like the little spoke, and then boop, boop, it all radiating out to the universe, right? And giving it a little bit of base here, a little structure. So that's the basic idea, right? So yeah, I'll do it again so you can see it happen one more time. This is going to be the base of our structure. This is the dish radiating outward. And then these spokes are going to be the lines on which we write the different aspects. And then this will just be beaconing out, right, to the universe. So the more concise and precise your aspects can be, then the less clutter you'll have in your diagram. But this is going to be the basic setup of it. Now, depending on, how much more the more time and effort you put into this, the more, you're thinking about the things that you want and how you want them to come to you and what you want, or not necessarily how you want them to come to you, but what you want them to look like in your world. You may spend some time decorating this or putting more emphasis on it. In which case, since this is, like I said, this was our base, you may include here, say you want to put pictures on it. So pictures is something that represents unity or divinity, right? Because that's going to be the base of all things. Again, you might put something like that here, right? Like a big diamond or whatever. Or speaking of diamonds, you might put it here because it's going to be bright and beaconing outward. You might write, your favorite affirmation right here at the bottom so that when you look at it, you got your affirmation. You may have turned those affirmations into afformations, right? Where you're asking your questions. How is it that these individual things are happening for me and coming to me so easily? Why is it that I'm getting to experience, X, Y, and Z? You may put pictures of, a smiling person or the energy that represents you, or the so if you see pictures of, if you find some pictures of people working together and that's something that you want, one of your aspects, then you might want to put that picture on the board. The idea being that as you look at this satellite, you're reminded of the individual aspects and the things that you're excited about, that you want to experience. You are affirming them in your mind, making it firm that yes, these are the things that you want. You're asking the affirmations, which is letting your mind be more open and creative about how and why these things are coming, how they're coming to you, and why is it that this is happening, and letting the universe answer that question for you. Why is it that, like that, with that curiosity and allowing the universe to work on your behalf. And then when you're not looking at it necessarily, it's still, the satellite is still sending out the signal, right? It's still beating out these things that you want, and whatever is out here in the universe that is in alignment with your overall goals of what's, of these aspects that make up your overall goal, then it will be brought to you. It's just a beautiful way to kind of draw out and, bring into the physical more, so like if we think about it in our head and in our words, then it's kind of in the ethers, it's still in the air. But as we start to write it and put it on paper and see it, then it's coming more into form. So there you have the satellite. All right, so now that we've completed our diagram, you now have a satellite that's beaconing out to the universe the specific and general conditions that you are looking for. We now want to focus on what is ours to do, right? Because we're there's that period of time between the asking and the manifestation of it. And oftentimes, we're not going to just sit back and wait, right? It's an active waiting, will be an active engagement. So now I want you to think about what are some action steps, maybe anywhere from 3 to 5, that you can take today that are in alignment with the goal that you have, or with the job that you're looking for. Is it preparing your resume with this new focus in mind? That might be one activity. It could be, if you're working from home, clearing a space in your office to make way for work, right? So what are these gentle action steps that you can take? If there's a certain look that you want to have with this new position, you might think about wardrobe choices that you'd make and start to maybe buy 1 or 2 pieces with that goal in mind. So these are just gentle action steps that you can take anywhere from 3 to 5 that are now in alignment with the goal of your satellite. So we're doing it with the satellite, in terms of relationships to our work. So now that you've got that framework, the action steps are you're beginning to step into and living from the space of, oh, this is done, right? Because you're not going to go spend money on, a new outfit if you didn't think that it was already here, right? And so these action steps are things that you take, one, to position yourself and open your mind to that possibility of this new thing, but also it's your steps into acting as if, right? We want to approach the manifestation with the end in mind. So we now want to step into that space of, okay, it's done. It is done, right? And these action steps are going to be things that you'll do that signify to yourself and to the universe that, hey, it's done, we're ready, right? So there you have it. You all leave me a comment in the comment section about how you are looking to apply this. Because again, it's not just for work. It could be for a car, but you don't know what kind. It could be for a relationship, but you don't know exactly the person, right? You don't know their name. You don't know what exactly they look like, but you know the kind of qualities that you would like them to have. If you're looking for a new home, you might not know the exact address, but you do know, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, and the type of property it should be on, right? So what you do know is enough to get you started. And hopefully the satellite helps bring it in that much faster. All right, my favorite people, I will see you soon. And of course, love you in the meantime. Bye.